Greetings. Welcome to Karen Hope's 15 Minutes of Solid Inspiration, the channel where hope grows inspiration. Y'all, thank you so much for being here this evening. It's a beautiful Sunday evening, man. The energy is good. And I hope that this video meets you and yours feeling the same. Oh gosh, easy breezy. You know what I'm saying? It's a good night. And let me tell you, I'm so glad to be sitting down here right now, doing this video right now. It's relaxing to me because it's been a pretty busy day. Not in a bad way, though. Not in a bad way. And it's pretty necessary, the things we had to do, get prepared for the week. I had 2 school projects to do, a high school project and a middle school project. Y'all heard me say I had to do, right? I know you heard that. Oh my gosh. And let me tell you, I have so many arts and crafts materials, right? And we were thinking about going to the store, and I thought, oh no, I've been getting arts and crafts material for, how old is Glory? 15, for 15 years. So I have plenty. But guess what? It was in my closet, in the back, underneath some stuff. So guess what I had to do? Clean my closet. Ended up doing that. So once I cleaned my closet, okay, and as they were doing whatever part of the project they were going to do on their own. You heard that part too, right? I can't help it. I can't help it. So while they were doing the little parts of their project, I've cleaned out or arranged the cabinets in the kitchen where the pots and pans are, and I disinfected the bathrooms, and I did some laundry, and then I changed the linens, and I cooked Sunday supper, and then I've already done the dishes. So yes, I was a bit busy today, but not bad busy, and not tired busy, just necessary busy. But anyway, great day, and it's a wonderful opportunity, y'all. When we have busy days like that, it's a wonderful opportunity to thank God for having an able body. Because if we didn't have an able body, then what would happen? It wouldn't get done unless we ask someone else, and then there's dependency, and we have to depend and rely on other people, and that just really brings down our quality of life. It really does. So we should always be grateful to God for being able body, sound mind. Get stuff done. Keeps us safe too and secure. But now, just in case you've never been on the channel, the reason for this video is to dedicate 1 to 2 minutes of each podcast episode that I produced and published this week. The podcast is Karen Hope's 15 Minutes of Solid Inspiration, a daily inspirational podcast. And it's available in all the podcast platform links that you see down below in the description box. Y'all go check them out. But we're going to review it now so you really know what you'll be, looking forward to, okay? And just know also that there's 109 down there for y'all to choose from, skim through, scan through, and whatever your intuition tells you belongs to you, that's it. Take a listen, okay? And before I start, I just want to say I thank y'all very much for continuing to support me, the channel, the YouTube channel, first and foremost. Thank you so much for the subscribes. And also in the podcast, for the podcast, on the podcast links, I have received some really nice messages and suggestions of how to make the podcast better, which I need that input, okay? I will never be offended. I promise. And also, just overall, I didn't think that I would be able, after maybe 1 or 2 podcasts, I was already ready to quit. I was already doubting myself. I was already full of worry. I was already anxious about how it would not be received, or how it would be received because of, I want to say because of who I am. But who I am is what's getting this done. So I am starting to move away from those bad energies and that self-doubt, and I'm starting to feel really good about this. Excuse me. It feels like an accomplishment. I know I do a lot of things during the day, and I get stuff done, and I run my household, and I take care of my children, and I protect, and I teach, and I nurture, and I do all those things to hold it down right here, okay? But then to be able to just separate myself from my regular life and still get some stuff done, feels so great. And thank you so much for being part of this experience, okay? I just had to say that. And God is so good. God is so good. Okay? Now, let's move forward with the video and the weekly review, shall we? We're going to start with Sunday, okay? Sunday, October 18th. And I'm going to be looking down at my notes, okay, y'all? Because there are five podcast episodes to review. And if I don't look at my notes, this is going to turn into 2 hours. I guarantee. Let's start with Sunday, October 19th. Guess what? There was no episode on Sunday. Look, y'all, that was so easy, but I'm going to tell you, on that day, I wasn't feeling it at all. I was in a bad space on Sunday, a bad place. In my heart, in my mind, I was confused. I was not thinking properly. I was not grounded. It's like, I think everything's in retrograde right now. Like, for real. Who knows? But anyway, I was feeling it. And your girl was just not going to do it. There's no excuses. There's one thing that we should learn how to do. And when we don't want to do something, we just need to say no. And Sunday, I said no. Yeah. And let me tell you, because I needed to ground, I was taking responsibility to know that how contagious energy is. And I could have faked that. I could have faked it till I made it, but that energy would have been felt. It would have been detected, and it would have continued. Like, it would have perpetuated itself. And I don't want to do that. I want to stay inspired, and I want to stay inspirational. So sometimes we need to take responsibility for that and go sit down somewhere and ground. So that's what happened last Sunday. And I do want to say this too. Always listen to your spirit, okay? And if your spirit doesn't move your body, then rest your mind. We're allowed to do that. We're supposed to do that. Okay? Now, let's move on to Monday, October 19th. Did I say Sunday? Sunday the 18th is what it was. Now it's Monday the 19th. Okay, and that episode was titled, Like the Brightest Star in the Sky. Now, right off the bat, we know that that's the sun, right? Well, in this episode, the episode before that one, we vibed a bit about believing in our dreams, okay? And that's one of the ones, it's the last video that we talked about last weekly review. And we talked about believing in our dreams, okay? In this episode, this Monday, we talked about bringing our dreams into reality with faith and belief and work, right? So it can all grow as we grow. All those things need to grow as we grow. And friends, we should wholeheartedly trust God and His plans for our life, okay? And when we do, we will shine and continue to shine like the brightest star in the sky. And again, we know that's the sun, sunshine. Okay, let's move on to Tuesday, October 20th. This episode was titled, Nothing. I'm so silly. The platform that I record from, which is the Anchor app, by the way. It's a free app. If you ever want to do a podcast, y'all, use the Anchor app. It's perfect. But that platform, they were having like technical difficulties that day, like the system crashed or something. So yeah, I didn't record that day. I was feeling good though. I was completely out of that bad energy at that point. I was feeling great, but the podcast platform wasn't feeling great. They were down this time. And I'm going to tell y'all a secret, okay? Just to let you know. I get bored very easily, okay? That includes being mad. I get bored with that energy. I was like in a bad place on Sunday. By the time I woke up on Monday morning, I was good, because I was bored with being mad, If I say I love something, I'm not bored. I'm not bored with it. But when I am bored, people know. People know because I don't get worked up at all over anything boring. Why would we get worked up over a boring thing? So, just a suggestion. Next time you see yourself getting worked up over some boring, humdrum, dead energy and stuff, man, stop. Just stop and go get some ice cream or something. Just do something better. Just go get some ice cream. Okay? All right, Wednesday, October 21st. That episode was titled, God is Our Limitless and Infinite Possibility. Now, that is self-explanatory, but I will explain the podcast episode. Okay, so we did vibe about the episode before, like we discussed. We vibed about shining brightly like the brightest star in the sky, right, sunshine? All right, well, in this episode, we talked about the only way to shine and to keep shining is to have faith and belief and imagine. We have to imagine we are no less than that, shining bright. So keep shining brightly, y'all. Public service announcement, okay? It's time for that. We are salt and we are light of the earth. You hear me? The earth. Imagine that, y'all, and believe it. Okay, let's move on to Thursday, October 22nd. This episode was titled, Don't Let Your Imagination Hold You Back. We can't. Now, I just mentioned in the previous episode that we were talking about, our imagination. I mentioned we have to imagine. We have to imagine to believe anything. Okay? And after talking about God being our limitless and endless possibility, I also talked about in this episode how we become a canvas painted with limitless and endless possibilities when we understand who we are. We have to understand that. To understand that our imagination takes us to be, or allows us to be, as long as we're coming from a posture and a place of positivity, anything we want to be. And you know what that is? That's a masterpiece and a work in progress simultaneously. Why? Because we're a word spoken out of God's mouth. And that's what we can do. That's what it is. So, not imagining that keeps you from believing that. And not believing that in your imagination, it holds you back. Don't let your imagination hold you back. Believe who you are. Okay? And it's no less than victorious. Now let's move on to Friday, October 23rd. I really hope I'm not getting these dates mixed up. You know what? Every video I go back and review, I see something or hear something where I've said, hey, episode 108 and it's really 109. Or I've listened and said, oh, Friday, October, 22nd and it's really 23rd. So I hope that I'm not mixing this up. But if I am, y'all, bear with me. Maybe one day I'll have a teleprompter. Maybe it'll help me. I don't know. I'll ask God to help me with this whole podcast to provide everything that I need. Right now, I've got everything that I need. But as I grow, I'll probably need more things. God is good. I know He will provide. So, Friday, October 23rd. Okay, this episode that I'm reviewing now was called Why Not Listen When We Know What Happens When We Don't. It was a long episode title, but hey, I mean, it's a valid question. Why do we do things that we know we're not supposed to do? It's a very good question. And at this point of this episode, we had already vibed about our imagination and how we couldn't believe anything if we didn't have one. We can't have anything if we don't have an imagination to manifest what we want, is what I'm trying to say. And if our imagination does not support good things, we're not going to get good things. If it fosters negative energy, everything we see in our life is going to be negative. Until we change that, until we change our mind and our way of thinking. And so we try to pinpoint in this episode the feelings that lead up to a good imagination, right? We got to keep it good. And I had a solution. And what that is every single life scenario, right? And how to deal with them, every single one is in the Word of God. Every single one. Bottom line is, if we want a sneak peek, a little sneaky peeky at things to come up in life that will be presenting themselves to us in life, and if we need to know how to prepare for them, brace ourselves or open our arms, whatever it is that we need to do, however we need to respond or react, the most positive way that we can, the most responsible way that we can, because I said close our arms, like don't welcome it, like that's not negative, that's a good thing. We need to keep ourselves safe, we need to keep our energy safe. So what we do is we get to that Word of God, and everything in there is every answer that we ever need. I'm looking down at my notes again, y'all, and I'm also reading a text right now. I don't understand. Bottom line is this, and I'm going to say it again because I got distracted right now, and I do apologize. If we want a sneak peek at things to come and an answer to the things that make us wonder, y'all, take a look. It's in the book. Okay? Saturday, October 24th. This episode was titled The Ultimate Power Move. And I really did enjoy producing this episode. I felt kind of close to that. I felt close to all of it, but I really was feeling this one. Okay. And we're winding down right now, and we're at the last podcast review. Okay. But in this one, we vibed a bit about why we wouldn't listen to what's good, right? If we know what happens when we don't. We veered away from imagination in this podcast episode, and we focused on the ability we have. And that ability that we all have, the ability that we all have to do what we want, or to get through what we need to get through, to pick ourselves back up, to start again, to shake it off, to shake things off, to change our way of thinking, to change our way of eating or behaving, or just, to get ourselves to pull ourselves up by the bootstraps and put ourselves in a place to be positive. We all have a thing called inner strength. I'm going to tell you why we all have it. We do. When we use our inner strength and follow our first mind, because you know how old folks say, our elders say, Girl, follow your first mind. Baby, follow your first mind. You know what they're meaning by that is? It's our spirit talking. Our spirit always listens to God. Like it has no other choice. It has no other choice. So, when we use our inner strength, we are listening to our spirit, which, like I said, without fail, always listens to God, y'all. So, y'all, that's it for the review. I had fun again. And that was fast, right? It was very fast. I thought it was going to be a little longer today, but because we missed 2 podcast episodes, it was a little shorter. But it's okay. Had a great time talking to y'all tonight. And y'all remember the links to each podcast platform. You know, just in case you want to go down and review the podcast episodes, down in the description box below. Just go check them out. If you have an extra 15-ish minutes, I can't promise you that they're exactly 15 minutes. I can promise you that the intention is for it to be 15 minutes, but yeah, just allocate about 4 or 5 extra minutes. Okay, so if you never joined us, welcome and thank you for being here. I appreciate it, and I hope I see you again next Sunday. Okay? And again, for y'all who have followed the podcast but maybe need to catch up with a couple podcasts, again, you have 109 more, y'all. You know, and let your intuition be your guide and just, you know, skim through. And whatever you see grabs your attention, that's for you. Now, as I always do, we're going to be closing out with some positive talk, you know? And we're going to continue to do that every week. Close up the video with a little positive talk. And, you know, we may end the video with sometimes with some self-affirmations or maybe like a joke or a fantastic song or something. But you know what? I never know until we get to that bridge, and this is the bridge. Okay? We're going to keep this short and sweet today, y'all. Now, I want to tell y'all, if I can be of some encouragement, whether we think we can or think we can't, we're right. Absolutely right. And knowing the difference between having to quit, you know, because sometimes we think we need to quit because things are not going the way we planned, okay? Or the way we saw them, or the way we wanted them to. But once we start to imagine these things, and we start to believe these things and have faith in these things that come from a place of positivity, we begin to realize that maybe it's not about quitting, it's about redirecting. And once we know the difference, it helps us tremendously. It helps us tremendously because we can start to think that we can instead of thinking that we can't. Because whether we think we can or whether we think we can't, we're right. You know? So, believe in your authentic self, y'all, and trust God. Because like we said in that last podcast episode, or the podcast episode on Saturday, God and our spirit talk even when we're not listening. Okay? Y'all, thank you again for being here. Please like this video, share, comment, and turn, if it's still red, the notification bell. If it's still red, why? And turn it gray, okay? I need it to be gray, and I'll tell you why. We have videos on Thursdays called the Fleeting Thought Thursdays where we don't even talk about the podcast. We just speak freely, and I really want to make that video live. Every Thursday night I want to go live so we can interact with each other and we can have a back and forth banter. And then y'all can say what you want and use the live as a platform to express yourself. But YouTube has some rules and regulations. So I have to have a certain amount of likes and a certain amount of subscribes to be able to do that, y'all. So help me grow the channel and help me circulate this solid inspiration through the YouTube world, okay? So subscribe to the channel, y'all, and like the videos. That's all we have to do. And we'll get the algorithm going, and then we'll be in business, okay? And then we'll be live on Thursdays before you know it, okay? So, again, hit that notification bell, turn it from red to gray, so you don't miss a moment of 15 minutes of solid inspiration. We have daily videos, we have Thursday videos, we have Sunday videos, okay? And also, y'all, go into the week knowing that your authentic self is your inner strength, okay? And do your best when life is coming at you from all kinds of directions, because you know how that goes. You know, it could be one thing, and then suddenly we're dealing with our health, and then suddenly we're dealing with our money, and then all of a sudden, you know, things are just feel like they're crashing down on us. You all, but use your inner strength, okay? It is your spirit, and it is directly connected to God, and it will get you through, okay? Thank you again. God bless you and yours, and see you again on this channel tomorrow to exchange some awesome energy.